Happy Sunday. I think it's the day before. Oh God, I'm here. What's up? I think it's the day before Memorial Day or something. It is Memorial Day. I don't know what is a memorian of a memorian. Is that even a word? Yeah. Is it memorialized? Is that right? I wonder what people remember. People often remember to find a way to be pissy or unhappy. I don't get it. Like, granted, everyone has their bad days. We all get a little frustrated with reality. Sure. But do you ever know these people that just they have to, it's like they have to have a problem? Like, why? Like, you could just be happy. You could. I'm not saying be happy all the time. I'm not saying, no. I'm suggesting that it's easier to either just be nominal, just like this. It's easy to do that. Just go, not engage, not partake, not participate. It's easy to do that. People find a way to poke and push and prod and be extra to cause chaotic chaos, to cause some sort of, I don't get it. Why make it so difficult? Life should be very easy. This whole thing, this is easy. We're playing easy mode right now. I mean, if you really studied any bit of history, at least what they tell you, I don't know what of it to be true, but if you were to observe history, it seems like it was a challenging, tough time in reality for most people in most periods of time. And here we have all of this. Look at this. It is what, 6:15 a.m. and it's 80 degrees out and it's sunshiny and it's lovely. Hey, maybe not where you are. Maybe not where you are. But hey, you chose to live there, right? You could choose to be where it's nice and sunny. But imagine living in such a beautiful climate and finding a way, just navigating reality to find a way to have a dilemma, a disturbance, a problem, a conundrum with things. As Savan Bomar said, every problem has a solution to every. There's always tagged to any type of mathematical problem. There's always a solution. So the solution is, see what I found though. If you don't cause a problem, you don't need to find a solution. Therefore, you just are. Just be. I am. I am this. Here. Simple. What's up, people? What's up, Carson? What's up, man? Did I send you some stuff on IG earlier? I got up early. And consumed some beverage and some other things. Maybe that's why I'm so highly functional. I'm a highly functional autistic savant. And if I call myself retarded, is that okay? If I don't call anyone else a retard and I say I'm a retard, is that fair? Oh, you okay? Yeah. So yeah, I just had a very. You did send me. On the Telegrams. Okay, I'll check that out. I haven't looked at that recently. Yeah, it's like, it's so weird. People that have all of the channels on different things. I'm like, it's hard enough for me to check my email and everything. I'm like, there's just too many buttons to push. Too many. So I just had a very funny day yesterday. You guys want story time? Or should I wait for a little bit to tell the story? Oh, that's Carson. That's funny. You were talking about the nitrous theory. Was I? Well, I think I was talking to Fire Drake, and he did. I think he just got a box of said said nitrous. I haven't done that in a while. I mean, maybe that's maybe maybe there. So let's get into the weird shit, right? Depending on your altitude and where you are, the plasma, the air, the shit is that like when they say in the Matrix, is that is that oxygen you're breathing, Neo? I mean, do you really know? So depending on the level or the heat, the cold, there's different substances in the air. We already know this. If they're spraying things in there, what are they spraying, right? And then furthermore, just as a general rule, depending on where you are, what's in our we're breathing in our general vicinity, there's different. Like if you climbed a mountain, if you've been you breathe differently. If you live in like Denver, right? Isn't that where you live? Where the fuck do you live? No, where you were in Florida, but you live in somewhere else. But anyways, if you're in the mountainous regions, you breathe differently. That there's less oxygen. So what's more? It can't just be less oxygen. It has to be more something else. So you get lightheaded. So is there what's in the air at those levels? Is it nitrous? I don't know. Nitrous makes you giggle, right? You get a little bit of airheady. You kind of get a. Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, you were in the Ozarks. Well, see the Ozarks. We talked about that before. The Ozarks seem like, if you look at it from overhead view, look at a map of how the Ozarks are made, right? It looks like an electrical current hit the ground and split it into those lakes, right? Or whatever. Is it a lake? Ozarks? Or it's a really weird pattern. It's not like anywhere else. You can't say though it's just a pond or a lake. It looks like this. It's like circular and it's like filled. No, those are way different. So like the electrical content. So something to do with like the electricity. Like if you can run electricity through different phases of the air, right? Depending on where you are, how much substance is in there of different things. You can. I mean, why do you think electricity happens? It's running from the ground to something in the cloud, or perhaps above that into the. If you think there's a dome there, it's got to have 2 points. Here's a proof to perhaps where we live, for electricity to occur, for a lightning bolt to occur, there has to be a ground and a point. So the ground is the origination point. Lightning goes this way, not this way. Whenever you were in school, you would draw it from a cloud and going the electricity come out of it. It goes the other way. It starts with the ground and it spits up to that, but it happens so immediately. But where does it go? Does it go to the cloud, or does it go to, you just can't see because it goes through the cloud to the whatever, the dome or the, it has to have a ground. It has to have 2 points. People don't think about this. Where does it has to originate from something. So we accept that there's a bunch of metallic substances, salts and metallic substances in the cloud, or something to hit above it. You were in Denver, right? Are you in Iowa, Missouri? No, for real? Oh, life celebration, cool. Telescope to charge water. That's interesting. That's really interesting. If you take if you take a binocular or a telescope and turn it around, you use it, you can see and it becomes bigger. So if you do it the other way, it's refracting the energy from whatever, if you take do you remember back in the day in the 1600s or whatever, earlier than that, they used to have this giant I'm killing the story right here because I can't remember the name of who did it. It was like Greeks or Romans. There's this giant glass thing that took the light and they could burn down a building like 100 miles away because they were taking it and using the sun to refract the light and condense it. So yeah, why wouldn't you be able to? You have you ever lit a joint or something with what do they call the fucking things? Like little what the hell? What is it called? I think it's too early. My brain doesn't start functioning until 9 a.m. So we're well before that. But you could, yeah, of course you could. A magnifying glass. Jesus fucking dipshit. I'm a dipshit. I'm a retard. Yeah, a magnifying glass. So you could magnify energies. Why is it just heat that you can magnify? Back on Halloween. So you're having it now. So she passed on Halloween and you're doing it now. Interesting. What's up? Yeah. What's up? What's up, T-Bird? A torch? Yeah. Okay. You heard me though. A magnifying glass to magnify the energy, the rays of the sun. I mean, you could hypothetically magnify anything, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be heat. Like you're magnifying the picture. So an image, could you? And if you can magnify sound, if you have I'm gonna do this all day now. Fuck, where's your brain at, Zen? I'm talking to myself in third person. Yep, I just did that. Like a microphone. It can magnify sound. You can magnify light. I mean, what else couldn't you magnify? Your brain starts functioning at sunrise. Well, I have to get up at 6 a.m. because across the street there's a church and the church bells go off 6 a.m. So funny enough, so my stupid brain, I wake up at like 5:58. I wake up a couple minutes before the bells go off because my brain and my body already go, oh, they're gonna go off. It's gonna wake you up. Might as well be awake for it. Your aunt is a teacher. I want to also wait till spring. When are you a Gemini too? When's your birthday, Carson? Hey, anybody in here? There's only a couple people, and you fuck stains have not given me a thumbs up, so whatever. It's my birthday in like a week or so. So if you want to, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all that shit, you can make sure that I have a drink in my hand and a roof over my head. Or you can buy me something. I don't know. Wait, Carson, it's today? It's today? Happy fucking solar renewal or whatever. Oh, so you double Gemini today. So you got the what is this? Is a new moon? Because I didn't look at the moon last night. I went to bed kind of early. Had a long day yesterday. Tree frog. Are animals in general, like just wild animals, just attracted to you? Do they, I mean, I assume so. Like obviously, if someone's walking a dog or the cat's running, they're gonna come. But I'm like domesticated, of course. But wild animals, they're like, what's this thing? They actually, I think they say that themselves. What is this thing over here? They look at you like this motherfucker. You got a jumping spider? A T-bird. What is that? A crab? Are you the crabby thing? Which one is that? Which one is the crab? Because you got the scorpion, you got Scorpio, and then Cancer is before that. Is Cancer a crab? Huh. Hold on, let me itch my nuts. I think I got crabs. What is it? Has anybody here did you ever have crabs? Is that a thing? I think that's just a joke. I've been with too many chicks with hairy bushes, and I've never had anything. I never had any problem with my genitals. Crabs? What is that? And how can't you just like, why wouldn't you just shave that shit up and put some oil on it or something? I don't know. What people get that? It sounds like something that happens in the 60s or 70s in porn flicks or something. I don't know. Are they big? T T-bird. Okay. I'm okay. If you see me doing this, because I'm on my phone, so I can't really read too well. I can't read so good. School. What is that? What movie was that from? For kids that can't read so good. What's that? Which one's that from? 69. Yeah, you know the funniest shit to me always is people look at me and they assume I smoke a lot of weed, which I don't. And I teach about astrology and all of that, but I on the top of my head I don't know all the science. It's I know a few, and I think it's just because I know those people and I know what their birthday is, so I kind of can. Obviously, I know Gemini, I know Cancer, I know Sagittarius, Scorpio. You know what I mean? Like there's a few that I know very well, but then the rest I'm just like, what month is that? There's a kitten. Cancer, yeah. So you're July, right? July. That you're my next door neighbor. You're to my. Did you ever watch my earlier ones? See, when I was saying I got teach about this crazy shit. Um, you you have your neighbor to your right, neighbor to your left. In reality, like think about this growing up. You had your neighbor to the right and your neighbor to the left, and I guarantee one of those neighbors you liked, and one of them you didn't. And I guarantee the neighbor that you liked might not like you as much. It goes that way. So it has to do with when you're born. So how when you were in the womb. So if you were in the womb the same time they were, you probably get along. But if they came out the womb first and you came out later, they're not going to like you as much. Because they don't have that association. The energy from yeah, you see what I'm saying? So the 9 months you're in the womb. So they were in for 8 months in the womb, and they came out first. But then the other one, you explored the womb together, so you have more of an association with them. So your neighbor to one side of you were in there too, and they were in. So the other one goes, they're missing 1 month. So you're missing a connection there. I mean, you build on it and you learn that through the 3 months. So you have air, fire, earth, and water in your system. Yeah. So there's the 4: air, fire, earth, and water. And there's 3 energies within those 4. That's the 12 months. So you're missing 3 of them. So if you're born as a Gemini, so I'm an air sign, so I have all the air signs filled up. So earth, fire, and water, I have to find those out there in reality, as humans, or I live around water, so I get the water energy. I put my feet on the earth. I understand the ground. I play with fire, right? Or you can find people like that, and that builds up those other things that you didn't get fully in the womb, and then you're associated with those things, and then that makes you a monad, a complete circle, right? So if you're the monad is the sun symbol, it's a circle with a dot in the middle. That's the whole entity. That's the whole that's 12 months. Like a clock. Where if you're on a clock and if you were born at 3 o'clock, you're missing 12, 1, and 2. Those hours, which are those three energies of air, fire, and earth, don't show up. They show up 75%, not 100%. The other one is 100%. So you have to fill those things up in your life. You're constantly in a like I never struggle to breathe. I talk a lot. See, I'm an air sign. Other people that are fire signs, they are hot as shit. They might have problems breathing. They might have problems grounding, right? They might have because they can't ground, right? Because they're so full of fire. And so if they don't have enough ground, they don't have enough fire in them, their fire will go out. If they don't have enough ground, they don't have air in them, their fire will go out. You see? So they have to search for the wind to give them energy. They have to have the ground for the fire, right? And then if they're around water signs, this is how it works. If they're around water signs, a water sign can put a fire sign out. But a fire sign can boil water. Fire and water signs are interesting. See where obviously I have to I'm an air sign, so what's going to bother me? Fucking nothing. Fire can't burn air. I can blow on fire, and I also put it out. Water, you can't drown air, but I can make a wave. Dirt, you throw it up in there, it drops. I can move. So air is the top. It's next to plasma. It's the lightest. So you have earth down here, water that can move through that, fire that stands on top of an air that creates the whole thing. Without air, nothing exists. I mean, that's just me being egotistical about what energetic force I have. But the other signs that they have, there's if you get in Chinese astrology, and there's 5, not astrology, but they have air, fire, earth, water, and metal. So they use metal as a sign. Wait, who's up now? Let's see. What's up, Ninja? What's up, Ninja? You want to get out of the body and do that? Well, here, I'll tell you the first part is you can't like you're not supposed to be snooping on your neighbors out of body. That's number 1 rule. It's kind of like a while ago I was teaching somebody about magic, and I didn't think I need to say it, but you can't put a spell on someone else. You can't cast like a love spell. Watch all the movies. They're always somebody wants someone to fall in love with them. It doesn't work because you're putting energy onto someone, a living being, another entity. You can't do it. It never works out well. All the movies will show you this. You can have anything you want in the magical kingdom. You can have any kind of here's this thing that doesn't care what I do. This thing here, any physical object without a consciousness, you can do any kind of magic you want on it. You can form it. But in the same light, if you want to get out of body, it's not for the purpose of snooping. Like I've done that on accident before, and I was just like, no, that's not. You don't do that. If I wouldn't walk into your house like this, I'm not gonna walk into someone's house as a snoop. So yeah, you can't really do that. It's not a good look. It doesn't look well on the astral realm, because you're basically doing the same thing you'd be doing in this body in a lighter body. You're still going. So their astral body knows that you walked into their house. I wouldn't suggest it. Yeah, T-Bird, that fourth of six-sided star. You overheat. Yeah, you need to use the air to yeah, airbender. Yeah, airbender. Like, if here's the thing, you'll notice this too. Watch somebody does an air sign that goes like this. When they do that, I would immediately go that way. You know people that do that, right? They go. If I just go that way, it's not, because especially because if you've ever seen me, like, I have a very large lung capacity, like my chest is pretty big in comparison. So that's a general air sign. Anybody with air sign has that. Then you have grounded people. I bet you'll see they have probably thicker legs. They probably like to be with their shoes off on the earth, right? Mr. Mannion, what are you doing? Howdy ho. Howdy hey. How's your potato? How's the potatoes? Because you said you're back in Ireland, right? Are you now that you're there? Are you drinking? You drinking some vodka, Mr. Mannion? I drank some tequila yesterday. I got super fucking stoned, super fucking tequila out, and weed and tequila yesterday. Good days. So what were we talking about? We went through the signs, metal sign. So okay, let's get into what are the so you have the four normal ones, right? Air, fire, earth, and water. And as I will always say, there's only three signs. Fire is not an element. So you got the four elements, but I think there's three, because everything works in threes. And the three signs are air, earth, and water. Fire is the transmutative force. And then if we go to five and you add metal is a cold object. Metal is a condensation of cold. Pick up a piece of metal. I guarantee it's cold. Go find a shiny metallic object. It's colder than the rest of things. Wood is warm. It's warming. You can light wood on fire. You can't light metal on fire unless you put a lot of heat in it, because it's already cold. Yep. Is plasma the sixth element? Well, that's I don't know. To me, plasma is something akin to air and water. It's like a fog. Plasma is fog-like. It's a warm fog. How's that? Does that make sense? I mean, think about it. Plasma is this. It seems gelatinous, which means it has to have a fluid nature to it. It's around you, but it's not quite just air. It's palpable, but it's a warm fog. Yeah, we're working on this here. I don't know. This is me spitballing with this bullshit. You drank a barrel of vodka last night? Is that what you were drinking? Drinking vodka last night? I'm gonna save my story of yesterday for another show. But let's just say it involved someone sticking a camera in my face and just filming me without my consent, because I was playing music in an open space. And then I did it to the person. So I walked over to them and they slapped my phone. The fact that I'm here today on my phone is pretty amazing, because they slapped the phone out my hand. I was like, you don't like it, do you? They ran up in my face with the camera at my own building because I was playing music, which everyone in the building asked me to play and likes. So I'm giving the story. And just ran in my face, and I was like, fuck you, cunt. I was like, and I went off. I was like, why are you in my face right now? I don't even know your name. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know why. Like, stay away from me. And then I did it to them, slapped my phone on my hand. I was like, doesn't feel too good, does it? So there's the short of the story. Plasma is like a fluid solid that's in the air. Yeah, I don't the solid thing. Solid is a really interesting. It's Mobius. It's malleable. It's formable. I like the word gelatinous for plasma. It seems like you could put your hand in it. Like, it's kind of like if Jello wasn't set. It's like an unset Jello. Like, it's not fully formed. It's kind of like what warm pussy feels like. It's like a juicy. It's like a. Fasting fruit and avocado, key lime. Oh, nice. Key lime and avocado. I bet your piss tastes gorgeous. Yeah, key lime is super good, super healthy. That's one of the Dr. Subby things. He said key limes that's the only lime to have. They're a little expensive. Probably proof that they're better. Yeah, lime, yeah, coconut water, lime, and an avocado. Yeah, stay in the greens. Retention enemas with, yeah. You know what the funny thing is? If I do a urine enema, I could literally hold it all day, like until it just re-ingests into my system. Water, I can't hold too long. Coffee, obviously, because it's doing something on the liver and gallbladder to push something out. But urine, it's I could just sit there. It's comfortable. Yeah. The when I did the lemon cayenne and lemon cayenne and maple syrup, the master cleanse, that was a big thing. Do you remember when master cleanse was like the big thing in the community, the health community, and no one talks about it anymore? That shit's heavy duty. And when I was doing that, like, I could literally feel in my fingers, I could touch things and electrocute things. I could charge. I've charged a phone in my hand. I don't know if you've ever experienced this. You ever use your phone, and some days it's like it doesn't lose charge, and other days it just depletes. Like, if I'm playing certain kinds of music or doing certain things, the energy just goes out the phone. Other times I'll play something and it's almost as if it's charging the phone back up. I've looked at my phone and I was like, it's not plugged in. And I think there's 2 or 3% more on the phone. Does this happen to anybody? Does anybody believe in I don't believe in it. I'm as certain as possible. I say, to me, everything is, it seems to be. There's not there for me, being a reasonable human being and just observing reality. As far as I can tell, I think we're in a crater, but the whole thing is flat. It just seems that's what would have to be. I have no faith in the theory of gravity. I do have an understanding of buoyancy, and I do have a understanding of density, and I have a very, very good understanding of geometry, but I do not have any faith whatsoever in and I have an understanding of electromagnetism, magnets and electric. I have understanding of these things. I do not have any faith or belief in gravity, though. The only gravity I like is the song by what the hell is his name? John Mayer. John Mayer did this song with Alicia Keys. Fucking look it up right now. Hey, you asshats. Who's in here? Carson and T-Bird. Go look up Gravity with Alicia Keys and John Mayer, and you can thank me. Yeah, thank me in like, I think it's a 6-minute song. You're welcome. How's that? How do big ships float in the ocean? Can I explain it? I mean, how long you got? Okay, here. Let me give you an example. How do okay? First of all, you have salt water, which the density of salt water is different. Then you have surface tension, and then you have water that is not salt water, which the density of salt water versus clean water is different. Explain to me how a fat person floats. A big fat person floats, but a skinny person, not so much. What it's buoyancy of fat molecules, and what fat is, even though it's heavier. Why do I watch fat people float in a pool, but I have to struggle to stay afloat because I don't have a lot of fat on my body. So there's buoyancy of what what you're made of, and a ship. What is it doing? It's displacing water, and the water and the salt are holding the thing up. I mean, as it gets bigger, it's I don't know, man. Why does it float? Why aren't all ships made out of like I have a kayak that I blow up. If I just throw the kayak in the water with no air in it, it will eventually just submerge. But I can watch a kayak made of wood works. I don't know. What's up, Ninja? Astral projecting and being out of body. The way I see it. So you have astral travel, astral projection, and out of body. I think they're 3 different things. I don't know that anybody that teaches this shit would say it that way, but it seems to me that I've done all 3. And out of body means literally I'm sitting here and I go, do some breathing. I get into that nap mode and my body goes numb and I can just pull whatever is inside of me, my spirits, the thing that animates this thing here, this physical body, whatever's in here making this shit happen. I pull that out of here and I turn around. I can look at myself and I can see myself connected through a cord, and I can walk through these walls and it's here in real time. That's out of body, and I can go anywhere I want. That to me is out of body. Astral projection means literally I'm taking the spirit and I'm throwing it over somewhere else so you have projection and travel. So I'm throwing it to a different time, perhaps. Travel is in real time. Travel means I can travel around the world. I could go down the street. I'm not necessarily connected by a cord, so I'm traveling somewhere. Projection means I'm projecting to a different time. I go to the 1600s. I could go to the year 2150. I could go to another realm. Those are the ways I see it. I think there's 3 ways. So it's like you can time travel, you can space travel, and then you can travel just connected to your body. Just like it just means that I'm sitting here and I can walk around this house and everything's going to be exactly in the same place as it is right now. So I'm in real time. That's out of body. So I think most people have an easier time astrally projecting. Getting out of body is a little more difficult because it takes conscious. You have to be very attentive and you make an effort. And when you pull yourself into your body, you'll feel it, and then you have to maintain. You have to like an NDE, like a near-death experience is equivalent to out of body. You have to be able to maintain. You have to be able to maintain your consciousness to be able to look at your body and go, holy fucking shit. I'm looking at my body, but I'm here. Like right now, if I could just go and just throw myself here and turn and see myself here, that's that. It's kind of like, okay, sometimes, here, I'll give you an idea. If you watch some of my earlier videos, sometimes I will do this thing where I will be sitting here and I'll focus so hard that I'll put myself here. And it will be me watching me talk. So I'm doing it here now. I'm looking at myself here, reading what you're saying. And I'm still me here in human form. And I'm just, this is it. But then sometimes I will put myself here and observe myself. And that's like a degree of meditation where I'm going, okay, I'm driving a ship. This is my ship. What do you want me to say? What should I say? I'm doing it right now. I'm sitting here. What should I say? How do you communicate? How do you use your body? And I'm relearning my body from back there. And I'm driving this ship as my body. It's equivalent to when you get out of body that you're using your mind to you're using your spiritual body to walk around. But you have to know that you still have this body sitting here. Makes sense? Ninja, people, there are people that can get out of body pretty regularly on purpose. If you get into like if I were to do everything I told everyone else to do, I wouldn't make these videos because I could just jump out of body all the time. There's if I go through meditation and breathing practices and put myself into a it's somewhere in between like a theta and gamma, because they're wildly different brain waves. But if I go into a theta brain wave, so you have alpha, beta, theta, and delta, or alpha, beta, theta, delta. Delta is sleep. Delta is your body and your mind is shut off and your body is in healing mode. Theta means you're consciously aware, but your body's alpha and beta are heightened states of you're here. And then gamma is, and then there's two other major brain waves you get into, but those are really difficult. But if you go through breathing patterns and things, you could do it. It takes a lot of fucking focus and practice. But once you're familiar with what happens, so going and you hear the noise and you go through a tunnel, watch these movies where people are like going through wormholes and all this shit, like time traveling, that thing where the tunnel and the zzz, that's exactly what happens. There's the church bells. What time is it? 7:00. Church bells. That's what you'll see. It just takes a lot because you have to be while you're in. It's kind of like if you're on a roller coaster. You know how your heart rate goes up and your mind starts to You have to, it's like being on a roller coaster and maintaining going, nope, I'm familiar with this. This is not going to affect me. That's what you have to do. It's the same reason you don't, you've gotten out of body before. You know that feeling of, you're going to sleep and all of a sudden you go, and it feels like you've fallen out of bed, like you're falling. That is literally your body. That's your body getting to sleep and your spirit getting out of body, and your body not going, no, come back. And it sucks it back in. And you go, and you wake up. And you go, what the fuck? You have to be at that point, and you have to be like, don't worry, the spirit comes back to the body. And you can walk anywhere you want. It's like mummifying. That's like, monk, mummies, Egyptian. Like, you have to go. And you just get out of your body. As soon as you go, that's your body being scared that you'll die. Like, let me explain it one more way. Your body has your body itself has a mind to it. It wants to live. And your spirit is encased in your tomb, your temple. Your temple's your tomb. This is your tomb. You are entombed. Like, you already are an Egyptian, encased in the tomb. This is your tomb, and you have to allow your spirit, the thing inside, to get out of that and go, don't worry, I'm coming back. And your body has to go, okay. You have to convince, because your body has a mind, just like your spirit has a mind. You have to link up with that to go, don't worry, body, I'm going to come back. I mean, if you like your body, if you're really egotistical and you love your body, like, your body will be like, oh yeah. This is the cool shit, right? I don't want to die. Look at me. I'm fucking gorgeous, right? If you get too attached to that, you'll never get out of body. You just got to go, oh no, this is a storehouse for the energy that I am. You are the energy that imbues all of this shit to exist. You can form it any way you want. If you don't like your body, it's probably easier to get out, right? Because you're like, fuck this, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go find a new body to jump in. I want to look like fucking Angelina Jolie, so I can play with my fucking tits all day. Maybe that's what you want to do. So maybe you'll do that. Can you get tired? Do you get tired out of body? No. Think about it. Does the cells in your body, do they ever get tired? Does the sun? Let me ask you a further question here. Does the sun ever get tired of shining? Does the moon ever get tired of reflecting? Does a mirror ever stop reflecting? Is the earth not there? No, you're never not conscious. Consciousness exists. You can't die. NERD. Nobody ever really dies. It's impossible. It's impossible. It's like the only thing we do is we have certain amounts of pain and pleasure in life, and pain is only like an inability to recognize pleasure, I guess. But you have feelings in life. That's what it is, and your consciousness will always be there. You can't. Consciousness doesn't dissipate. it only. Okay. When you were 1, you didn't know shit. When you were 5, you barely could. You're stumbling around, shitting your pants, fumbling through the English language, and then you learned, and you evolved. Your evolution is only consciously. Your body doesn't age. You don't get older. A cell does not age. If you want to look younger, if you want to be younger, so be it. The only thing that's aging you is the stupid shit you stuff into your face that decays the cells, but the cell itself is immortal. You can't. What is it? It's going to a cell reproduces itself. You have one immortal cell. Where'd it come from? Who cares? And that cell contains all of the world's wisdom and consciousness. Just what it is. You don't die. You don't age. You just morph, constantly morphing and engaging with whatever's out there that you're projecting. And it's a cyclical looping system of, hey, what do I want today? I think I'm bored of this. Most people say I'm bored of this. I'd rather have nothing. No, if you're bored of this, go have something else. You know, people age because they're tired of life. No, they're tired of having a sucky life. Then don't have a sucky life. What do you want? I think I'd like to be really rich. I think I'd like to have a lot of money. I think I'd like to have a harem. I mean, why not? I mean, have I done these things before? You have to bemuse yourself with different explorations. I've lived in a lot of different places for that reason. I mean, I'm comfortable where I am, so I like it here. I'm happy in my space. But I've moved a lot because, hey, that was a good adventure. Life is a giant, wide open space to adventure in. It's what are you going to do today? Some people get so stuck into the rigmarole that hey, just because you got a job, a 9 to 5, doesn't mean when you're done with that thing, you use that money, use whatever you got from that to go have some fun. You gotta find things that engage you. Like I never knew I could paint or draw or anything. And then one day I picked up a pencil and I really liked it. And I was really good at it. But for a little bit. Then I stopped doing it. Why? Because I wanted to do something else. I never liked reading. And I grabbed a bunch of books and I started reading. No, they're just there, and once in a while I'll read something. I never wanted my stupid face on this fucking camera thing on YouTube. I didn't want that. But one day I was like, I hated the sound of my own voice. Imagine this. This is real. I didn't like the sound of my voice. You pick up your phone and you're like, hey, thanks for calling. Leave me a message. That shit. Oh, I did that thing 60 times because like that didn't sound right. And I would just hit the button, replay. I didn't like the sound of my voice. Then one day I started making these things. Started talking. I was like, oh. And people would be like, you have a really nice voice. It's like, you know what? Yes, I do. And then I was like, okay. Am I good looking enough to put my face on here? I was like, I don't think so. I don't know if I'm that pretty. Do I have to be pretty? I don't know. And then I did. And I was like, and people were like, oh, you're good looking and you have a nice voice. And I was like, holy shit. And so this is what I did. It was something new to do. And maybe one day I won't do this. Maybe one day I'll be fucking whittling sticks and making, carving something, maybe molding something. I built houses for years. Fucking love building houses. I cooked for years. I've done a bunch of shit, but that was that little experience. So all of these words to say, go have an experience, enjoy yourself. What the fuck else are you supposed to do? Ninja, I'll scroll through here. Unseen entities. I've seen a couple of them. It's funny. I moved into a different house. I lived in a tree house. This is Real story. I lived in a fucking treehouse in the middle of Garden of the Gods. I can't make this shit up. It's in Indiana. Go look it up. I lived in the Garden of the Gods. Well, it was in Indiana. It was in Illinois, right at borderline. And I got sleep paralysis really bad because it was so comfortable. There was no electricity, and I was grounded, and so I got sleep paralysis really bad. Well, really good. And I was trying to get out of body, but even my spirit couldn't get out of my body. But I could see through my eyes. I'm sitting there in my bed, and there's a chick standing here just looking over me, and then someone in the corner, the guy in the black hat thing, you know that thing? Yep, guy in the corner, black hat, and some chick just standing over me. And I couldn't get out of my body. I mean, I already had known prior that these entities exist, and I already have gotten out of body prior, but I couldn't roll out of body at that point. So I was just like stuck there going, well, they don't do anything. They're just kind of they're just observing. And then the next day, because I was like, I woke up, I was like, fuck. Next day I got out of body and they weren't there. Different frequency, whatever. But yeah, you'll see them. It's you'll see some fucked up shit too. That's the most people, because they don't know. Most people, they don't know they can get out of body. Most people just assume, here's me, this is my body, everything's a dream, it's fucking freaky. They think they're gonna die, But then they get to that sleep paralysis thing. So they get to the sleep paralysis, and they don't know this shit exists, and they'll see the fucking creepy shit in the corner, and all and they'll just lose their shit. They're like, it's the worst, and so they shut themselves off, become so fearful of the spiritual astral realm that they don't want to go back there. But in doing that, they're so fearful that they tense up and they keep themselves in their body. Where if they weren't fearful, they could just get out of body and go, and that thing will disappear, or they'll walk over and talk, or telekinetically play with the thing, whatever. But they get so scared of it that they actually hold their spirit in their body, which is the worst thing they could do, where they could just get out of their body and go, the fuck are you doing here? They'd be like, I was just making sure you're okay. That's what they'll say. They'd be like, what are you doing looking over my body? What are you doing? Like, oh, just making sure you're all right. You told me last lifetime to look into your tomb and to make sure, because you are you're a pharaoh. Just make sure you're okay. Like, oh shit. And then, yeah, you ready to come out and play now? How long is his beard? There. He goes up there. A hair ram. Yeah. What is it? It was like what do they call it if you have a bunch of the harem is what, isn't that name? A constabulary of creatures. It's about 3 inches now. Hey, don't worry. It'll get bigger. Man, what I wouldn't give to have 3 inches. Who else is up in here? Anybody? Is it just you? Is it just you, Carson? It says there's seven humans here. Maybe some bots. A bearded dragon. Well, I might call this a day, because I'm out of beverage, and it's about It's about that time. I have to go run to the store and collect. Oh, it's like 7. I'm gonna go collect some beverage. What do you think? So give me like an hour, and I will say hi. And almost my birthday. Feel free. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, description box. And I'll be back. Stay cool. Remember, put your oxygen mask on first. Enjoy your journey, because you're the most important thing on this crazy trip. And when you can, help out others and be weird. All that shit.